My younger sister trusts you, and I guess I should too. You don't look like a creep.
Confidence is easy to fake when no one listens to you anyway. You see me smirking, you hear the jokes, the bravado, and you think, wow, Silver's got it easy. Everyone must love her. It must be nice to be the leader of this branch.
Heyo, I'm Chips. I go by they, them, and I voice Catherine the Slime and Silva the Silverfish.
I really enjoy voice acting, especially when it's anime, and even more especially when it's Minecraft. I love to sing. I like to write, like books and stories and scripts and lyrics and all that. I like to play video games. My main two is Minecraft and Stardew Valley. I like to help people organize or just to help people and in any way I can in projects, including like writing scripts, organizing lines, sending out lines to people, editing thumbnails, making thumbnails, editing like small video clips to help to decorate, build, anything like that. My favorite character types to play are like children, male children and female children, because I feel like I do them really well, but I know I can improve a lot on them, but I feel like I have been getting better with it. I like to play kind of like a either overly nice character, overly like hyper, like with ADHD type of character, or one that is an antagonist and that is just cold and dark and just doesn't care about anything, basically, or an antagonist who is pretty much psycho and is just like your daily anime crazy antagonist. Trying to think of an example, but I can't at the moment. And I don't think, if anything, I just haven't played any of the antagonists that I would like to voice. I know I am playing an antagonist right now that is kind of dark and cold, but not in the way I'm thinking of. So if anything, the cold and dark antagonist I would like to play yet, as well as the antagonist who is a crazy psycho who just laughs like a maniac. Originally, I found Mob Talker on a site called Casting Call Club. I did not hear about it at all. I was mainly just scrolling through Casting Call Club and looking at new projects to try auditioning for, and that was one of them that I took interest in, especially since it has to do with Minecraft, obviously. And my overall thoughts on it are really just, I'm excited to see the full thing. It was really fun to voice act, and throughout it, I did mess up quite a lot, but that's just the routine of being a voice actor, is trial and error. This is actually my second time voice acting for it. The first time I voice acted Catherine as the medium sister slime in the first batch that was created, and now this is the second batch, and now I am voicing Silva. I really like the idea of Mob Talker, and it's just, I don't know how to describe it. I just really like the idea behind Mob Talker. I love like the way it's created. I love the character designs. The character designs especially are my favorite thing about it overall, and like how much fun and how much emotion is put into the voice lines that all the other voice actors do, because they all do sound amazing. When I think of Catherine, I think sass, major sass, and it was really hard to try to get any other emotion mixed in with the sass, as she's obviously a sassy teenager, so you had to really keep that sass going while also trying to put in hints of other emotions, but keeping it at the level of sass as it is. But I don't think I really disliked or liked anything, except for maybe when she only had like short words. It was kind of like just fun and simple to just say things like whatever, or just saying later, or it was just, to me, it's really fun playing sassy characters, especially her. because she's pretty much just boshing on her little sister, which is something a sassy teenager would do, obviously. And yeah, it was mainly just voicing the sassy character with a mix of her fighting her emotions and trying to pretend like she is okay when she's really not okay. I really liked voicing my character. She was basically just your daily anime girl. It was one of those things where it's kind of like Natsuki from Doki Doki Literature Club is what I kind of had going in my head for her. I felt like I fit Silva really well, but at the same time I feel like I could use a lot more work in the voice for her, as keeping a high-pitched tone while also expressing emotion can be quite difficult, especially when you don't know how to properly do it, because you need to focus on keeping that high pitch while also focusing on the emotion. I really like just whining, I guess. Whining or like yelling was a lot of fun for some reason. I don't know why, but it's just a lot of fun for me to use a high-pitched voice and like scream and be angry or upset or make like a little sound was amazing. Dislikes, I want to say dislikes would have to be mouth noises, because I kind of suck at those. Like something would be labeled TCH or TSK, and it would take me forever to just practice trying to get those right. I know challenges was what I mentioned a little bit before, was keeping a high-pitched tone while also keeping the emotion believable and realistic. Just trying to remember to keep that pitch while also keeping the emotion at the same time could be difficult. I know keeping my hand above my head in the direction of where I was doing the voice helped a lot for me to remember to keep a high-pitched voice, but in the end it all comes down to just basically practicing a lot more than you would think and taking sips of water. I think I would and wouldn't like to get to know my character in real life. At first, I would probably think they're the most annoying person ever, being sassy and snobby and all that. But like if I got to know them, I would probably realize that there's like a softer side to her and not just sass, and there's actually like a caring side. A caring side that really wishes that, how do I put this? A caring side that really shows emotion without showing the emotion, because it's so difficult for her to actually express that emotion. I'm not sure. I feel like at first I would be like, oh yeah, this is a cool character. It kind of reminds me of Natsuki from Doki Doki, like I mentioned earlier. I would probably think that Silva is adorable and cute and a little child, and then it would probably turn into more of annoyance through her voice of being high-pitched, and then it would probably go back to feeling bad for her and finding her adorable and seeing her as a younger sister for me, or like at least a younger cousin. And I think I would like to get to know them. At first, like voice sound, I guess, I would probably be hesitant to get to know them, but then once they open up more, then I most likely would definitely like to get to know them more, like the more we talk kind of a thing. I would personally say that my character probably needs to just work on accepting her emotions more, and mainly like showing them to other people, and if not other people, at least maybe her older sister or little sister, most likely her littler sister, just to show that she cares and such. But that's the main thing that I'm thinking of with Catherine, is being able to show her challenge to show emotion, but also to show that she is trying to show that emotion, to show people that she actually cares and doesn't care and is just a sassy snob, but an actual teenager who loves and cares for her sisters. I want to say maybe impersonating her being more whiny rather than angry, keeping in mind that this isn't my character whatsoever. This is obviously the director's character, so he can direct my voice and emotion into what he wants for the character, as he obviously knows the character better than I do because he's the one that created it. And so in my mind, I just pictured a more whiny and upset child, since she is technically a child. And story-wise, I don't think there's anything. I think Silva's story was actually told perfectly, and I don't think it could have been changed to make it any better whatsoever. I have been doing voice acting for about 3 to 4 years, and I got into it through a friend who found the site when trying to audition for a Minecraft YouTubers series that we both really enjoyed together. And so then it kind of just evolved from there. I kept visiting the site every day and finding better and new sites that I also wanted to try out for, which obviously didn't go great because I didn't really have a microphone. But as the years went on, I got a new microphone and then just kept going with it, really. At the moment, it's just a hobby. If I do get a paid role, then that's like exciting, yeah, but I rarely ever get a paid role. So at the moment, I would say it's a hobby, but I would like to get it into a career in the future if possible. And whether it's like doing anime, English dubs, or just Minecraft voiceovers, but paid ones. I know there's some of those. I'm really fine with anything. Or like maybe an anime type game like Doki Doki. But yeah, no, I just really want to get into the career of it. If I'm not able to, that's fine, because, you know, life. I'll keep continuing to do what I'm doing right now as a hobby. But if I do have the chance to make it career, I will definitely take it. Difficulties in voice acting has to be just finding motivation to voice act overall, because especially when you have a lot going on, or you have a bunch of roles you have to do, you kind of lose motivation, or you're just sitting down and you're kind of lost or don't have motivation to get up and do lines. Because me personally, I do lines standing up. I found that it helps me better voice act, keep the voice, show the emotion. It helps me keep my motivation longer. It helps my air come through my lungs better, and I'm not slumped over when doing lines, because posture really does matter. Trying to keep and remember a voice can also be difficult, especially when you have a lot of roles. Sometimes keeping a voice clip of that character in like a folder on your computer or your phone can be really handy to look back on, especially if scripts don't release consistently. It can be really challenging to remember the type of voice you used for that character, or like the feel that you have for that character. So I would say those are the two main things. I know there's other things, like there's also coming to terms with needing to listen to your voice and knowing if it's good enough or not, because I still struggle with listening back to my voice lines to make sure that they're good or not, and just hearing my voice and automatically thinking they're bad. I know there are times where I do the voice lines and then I listen back and I can't tell if I like it or not, and I'll just delete it and keep redoing it over and over and over again, and then it's never good enough. So sometimes I just end up doing the voice line and then sending it in because I can't tell whether my voice is good enough or not. Yes, definitely. I know Stacy Plays isn't really a voice actor, but she does do Minecraft content, which has really gotten me into Minecraft in the first place. She's grown my love for books and animals in general, There's Gizzy Gaza, who also makes really amazing role plays, story-wise, script-wise, character-wise, just everything-wise, which I think that counts as voice acting, because it is basically a Minecraft movie, or Minecraft movies, Minecraft series. Like, his Purge series really is the main one that inspired me, especially just watching over The Purge a million times was like kind of actually watching a movie. And same goes for Favor My Savior's Assassin's Creed. I grew really attached to that one as well, and it's basically a Minecraft movie as well, or series. And just, I think those two are the main two, and Stacy is just kind of what got me into it more, and it's kind of just grown my knowledge on Minecraft in general. So if anything, I thank her for bringing me into that. And then I also thank the Gizzy Gaza and Favor My Savior for also just introducing like storylines, plot lines, characters, series, movies into my life. And it has definitely inspired me to do voice acting as well as other things like script writing, story writing, character development, all of that kind of stuff. Even if you don't have a good enough mic, you just have to accept that you probably won't get casted as much as you would like to, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't try, because the more you try, the more, I guess, kind of like experience you'll get, or more practice you'll get in auditions. And it can kind of think of it like auditioning for a movie. You're gonna be told no more times than you're gonna be told yes. Although it's not like exactly like auditioning for a movie where you'll rarely get a part. You will get a part once in a while. Maybe if you have a bad mic, then you'll rarely ever get a part. But once you start growing and increasing your vocal range and experimenting with your voice like I did, I figured out I could do female voice, the female child voice. I figured out I could do a male child voice. I figured out I can do an andro voice, which is just a mix between female and male. I also figured out I can do kind of like cat noises, which was more recently and kind of unexpected, but you know, sometimes you just get thrown a part and they ask you, hey, can you do this? And it's like, sure. But yeah, just keep following your dreams and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. I have had people who tell me that voice acting isn't a good thing to be getting into because it's not career worthy, it's not money making, whatever. But don't let them tell you otherwise. Just ignore them and keep following your dreams, because in the end, as long as you're happy and having fun, that's all that matters. I do have some inspirational words, or like inspirational quotes, but I can't think of them at the moment. It's usually I can only think of them when I'm doing lines and I need to hear them. My brain just shows them to me and I'm like, okay. But I know otherwise, if I'm making a lot of mistakes on a certain line or with a certain character's voice, I try to take a step back and remind myself that you're human and you make mistakes, and you and your body have limits. And you can't just keep pushing and pushing and expecting your body to keep giving the same effort or more effort every time. So you basically just need to take care of yourself, make sure that your throat is well rested, as well as you overall, physically, mentally. Basically just telling yourself that it's okay, you're still trying, you're still learning. Even professionals are still learning. And yeah, just don't push yourself too hard, especially if you're a beginner. Take your time in learning everything. Let people give you feedback, because feedback is very helpful. Even if it seems like it's rude or it hurts to hear, it's better to hear feedback rather than ignore the feedback and not get better at voice acting and doing the wrong thing over and over and over again. Overall, working for Mob Talkers has been really fun. I have definitely learned a lot of new voice acting tips, and it has helped me improve my voice acting personally. There's been lots of feedback, lots of redos, but that's kind of what comes with voice acting, is having to redo lines until you get it right, until you kind of like perfect the line and the character and the delivery. If you get like, don't downgrade yourself if most of your lines need redoing or they're not all perfect the first time, because there is a small chance that they will be, which I find helpful, and I'm glad that there is feedback rather than saying all of these look good. So in Mob Talker, usually you do your lines, you get them in, and then they send you a page of feedback of what you can do better and how you should change your tone in delivering, or something else you should try just in case to see how it sounds. Then they will send you videos of how to do certain things so you understand more, or send you voice memos explaining and giving examples of what they would like. And then if you're also having issues, they can also help you with that. So just basically, overall, Mob Talkers has just been a really fun and amazing experience to be a part of, especially through growing my voice acting career. And I just want to say thank you to Mob Talker for letting me be a part of this twice, even though I feel like I didn't deserve it. And thank you for helping me through getting through all the voice lines, especially if it takes a while for me. But in the end, we get there, and it's just a lot of fun to do, and thank you. On Casting Call, my name is chips_2-6, and my YouTube is chips.2.826, I believe. Don't quote me on that. But it should just be chips.26.